All right, so we hit injuries first. DeAndre Carter had a hamstring. Travis Homer had a head injury. We're going to continue to try to evaluate going forward. And I'll start with what I kind of addressed with the team. We got our butts kicked. There's no other way to say it. We always be straightforward, honest, and open about things that transpired. We're going to do a better job of putting a better game plan on both sides of the ball so we can execute better and obviously continue to challenge our guys to be at their best. Also encourage those guys and also demand that we still stay unified. It's a grown man's business. There is no lay down or quitting our football team, which I do love. We're going to do a better job of trying to find ways to start the games faster, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. I think we'll do a decent job at halftime of making adjustments, but get the ball rolling at the beginning of some games to be able to build with the lead. But overall, I mean, not enough explosive on the offensive side of the ball and gave up way too many on defense. Questions?
You've been an offensive coach your career until this week.
Right.
What are you doing? What's your role when you see the defense struggling and you're down 21-0 in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I still trust our defensive coaches. I still will kind of go back and watch the tape. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't want to make too many comments without having a chance to see it. And great to take myself. But again, it's about all of us, getting back to work, find a way to get solutions and put our guys in better spots to make plays.
You told us about your post-game message to them. How did it seem like they're doing? What's the mood in the locker room? We know what it's been the last few weeks. What is it today?
Well, again, I mean, we got our butts kicked, so the move's not great. But obviously our guys are still together. Again, like I said before, I'm going to be open and honest with them about what's transpired, but also moving forward. And we got enough of the right guys in the locker room from a leadership standpoint to get back to work. So after the day, we'll hop back on the plane and put all the focus on Minnesota.
Thomas, I think it was in the second quarter, Eric Washington gathered the defense together. Did you hear that message that he delivered to them on the sideline?
I did not hear that message, no.
Thomas, how do you get your brain around the slow starts and how consistent they've been this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, if I had the answer, I would have already fixed it. But I think, again, just being able to understand how to sell ourselves into a game, be able to stay on the grass, convert on third downs, and, keep some drives going is going to be the biggest part of it. So, but that'll be a point of emphasis for us moving forward.
There's a really long way to go before you guys cross the finish line of the season. How do you do your part to make sure that these guys understand that there's still 4 games left and there's a lot of football to get through?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I'm going to be the same guy every single day regardless of circumstances. So the message will be the same, my approach will be the same, and we'll find ways to get back to work and get better. Yeah, I mean, the goal always, I don't care what my role is, to win football games, right? We didn't win, so that's always going to be the focus and the point of emphasis. And so I got to do a better job. Again, it always starts with me. So communicate better to the entire staff. Continue to try to find ways to demand more from our players so we can show up on game day and play the right way. We played a really good football team, and they kicked our butts.
The sacks on third down, what did you see on those plays? And then what did you think of Caleb's game overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think he fought his butt off like he always does. I think continue to try to find ways to get our guys open so we get the ball out on time, but also kind of going back to the slow starts. I mean, when you're behind and having to come back in games, you're kind of forced to have to drop back more, which obviously exposes you more to sacks.
Most coaches get months to get ready for their first game. For you, you had a week. Yeah. So how are you doing as far as getting the operation leading up to the game and then on game day the way you want? And obviously you still have 4 more weeks to try to fine-tune that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the operation leading up to it was fine. I kept my same rhythm offensively. Obviously, there's more on my table when it comes to how I set schedules, communicating with the team multiple times a day. So that's obviously going to continue to be something I kind of work through in the future. But, again, I don't make excuses. Whether I have a week or have 5 months, the goal is to win football games, and we didn't win. So that's going to be my only focus today and moving forward.
What did you think of Caleb today as far as just his kind of journey through the game?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously the first time I've been on the grass, so having a chance to meet with him face-to-face kind of makes it a little bit different when it comes to that versus being in the box and being on the headset. But, again, I think he's relatively always calm, cool, and collective, obviously super competitive. So, again, there was no quit or no crying and complaining with him, which is I love and appreciate. And he's a super confident dude, so he's not rattled one bit. We've got to find ways to be better for us offensively.
Thomas, did you get an explanation on the fumble?
Yeah, I did. Rule change. I kind of argued that, but it is what it is.
What would they say? And you said rule change.
Just as far as the change of the tuck rule, and obviously it wasn't about his arm going forward when he tried to pull it back. It was more about how the ball came out of his hand. So they ruled it a fumble.
First half, I think it was 320-4 in total yardage. How do you wrap your brains around that? How lopsided that was?
I don't. We got a butts kick. Like I said, just didn't stay on the grass offensively. Took convert on third down. And obviously we just gave up too many explosives as well on defense.
Thomas, in 18 days, you went from the passing game coordinator to the offensive coordinator to the interim head coach. At any point, has this felt like a lot now, especially with your first game as head coach in the books?
Not really. I try to keep it from a small focus standpoint. I think the outside world puts a bigger emphasis on certain things, and I understand why, because the role is big. I'm not going to act like it's not. But my focus always stays on the job I've been asked to do, and I try to be the best at that.
Rome has been kind of in the shadow since the day you guys drafted him because of Caleb being there and the experienced receivers being there. What are you seeing from him? He had 2 touchdowns today, obviously, but what are you seeing from him now as he's getting toward the end of his rookie season? He's got the experience.
Yeah, Rome has been very consistent from day one. Like I've said before, I think as far as his approach to the game is super mature. Does a really good job in meetings of taking notes, being detailed, doing exactly what we asked him to do. And glad he showed up for us when we had an opportunity today.
Couple more, unless you guys are good. Okay, good. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.